So let's talk about memorization. What does that look like in my homeschool? Practically, how do we do memorization? What do we cover? And how do we fit it into our homeschooling day? Assalamu alaikum. Welcome to the Raising Mums podcast. My name is Dr. Gemma Elizabeth, and it is my passion and my purpose to help Muslim families to educate their children at home. And I run the award-winning blog, OurMuslimHomeschool.com, and I am the host of this awesome podcast, the Raising Mums podcast. So let's talk about memorization. Memorization is a part of our homeschool. I wouldn't say it's the main part of the way we home educate, but it's certainly an element to it. Children have the most incredible ability when they're young to memorize things. And a part of our homeschooling, a part of the Charlotte Mason philosophy, is that we make the most of that while they're young, to have them memorize things that are important, what we would consider valuable to them. And that includes things like Quran, but it extends beyond that. So when it comes to our homeschool and the way we do memorization, there are kind of two parts to it. We have the memorization that the kids do independently, and we have what they do as a group. So independently, my children will memorize Quran, but they do that by themselves because they're all at different levels. And so they will do that first thing in the morning before we start the rest of our homeschool day. And then they will meet with their teachers once a week, and sometimes more than that, to go over what they're memorizing. We then have the group memorization. And that is something that we include in morning time, or our morning basket. If you're not familiar with the term morning basket, I've done a whole video on it on YouTube. It's probably one of my most popular videos, and I'll leave the link for that in the show notes. And that's going to explain to you exactly what morning time is, why we do it, and all the bits and pieces that you might have questions about. So do go and check that video out after you're finished here. So we include it in morning time. And essentially, in a nutshell, morning time is when we get together as a family, children of all ages. We all come together and learn in community. And part of that learning is memorization. And what I want to show you today is something that we are using in our morning time. And that is our morning time memorization folder. So this is our morning time folder. And in it are all the things that the children are memorizing or have memorized this year. We used to have it so that we didn't have a folder. We would just read from the book or from the piece of paper, whatever it might be. But as the kids have got older, I have noticed that I have some visual learners, and they need to see the words to memorize it, or at the very least, they need to see it, and it speeds up their memorization. It's not enough just for me to say it. So that's one of the reasons why each of the children have one of these folders. It means that everyone has this in their hand when we're going through what we're memorizing. So let me just tell you a little bit what's inside this folder. These are this is I think it's called a display folder. I'll leave the link for this with the show notes, but you can find this anywhere. It's essentially a folder, and it's got these plastic envelopes, plastic things inside. So at the beginning, we have the songs that we're singing. So part of our morning time is that we sing together. There's something really beautiful about singing in community with your children, words about Allah, words about the Prophet, peace be upon him, and remembering them together in song. There's something very, very powerful about that. And it really uplifts the whole family and the mood and the atmosphere in the home. So we do sing. So we have the lyrics to some of the songs that we're singing here. These lyrics have come from Pearls of Islam. They run nasheed and drumming classes for kids. So one of my boys, how old is he? He's 9 years old. My 9 years old did a class with them. And so we've printed off the songs that he learnt, and we're all doing them together now. So he's teaching them. He'll be on the drum, and we're all singing together. So we've got a few nasheeds at the front. And then we do also memorize poetry. So we have the poems here. I've just photocopied them and put them in here. So all the kids together will look at this as we read the poem together, or I read it out, they will follow along. And then we'll close the book, and I will ask one or two of them to tell me back the poem. And that's how we do memorization of poetry. We use the book Primary Language Lessons by Emma Searle, and that has some nice selections of poetry in there. You could use any nice compilation, nice treasury of poetry for children, whatever you feel drawn to. You could also do poems in other languages as well. Arabic poetry, of course, is a very popular one as well. And then in there as well, the kids are memorizing du'as. So we have the du'a for waking up. We have the du'a for going into the bathroom, and that's what they're working on at the moment. You can also in here include picture study. So I have seen Misty Winkler, who is, I think her blog is called Simply Convivial, and she includes in there postcards of works of art, and the children will do picture study about that postcard. You can also get great reproductions of works of art in calendars. So, you know, February time, head down to your local stationery shop, to the Works or anywhere like that, and get some calendars discounted, and you can put those prints in here. Also, if you have a good quality printer, you can just print them out. And that is something that we're going to be doing next term, inshallah. Each of the kids will have their picture study prints in here. If you're not sure what picture study is, again, I've done a video all about that on YouTube, and you can just find that on my YouTube channel, Our Muslim Homeschool. Memorizing together has been surprisingly effective and surprisingly satisfying. The kids really enjoy learning together and memorizing things together. It creates this shared language, these shared memories that they might have missed out on if we never did this, if they were just memorizing things individually or not doing it at all. I hope that the poems they memorize, the nasheeds they memorize, will be a part of who they are as they go forward and they leave home. And I hope it's something that they will go on to teach their own children. And I hope that it will be something that really is firm in their heart and something that they draw on in times of when they need it, when they're older. So I would love to know what your children are memorizing at home. Are they learning poetry? Are they learning nasheeds? Are they learning the burda? Are they learning du'as? What are they memorizing? Let me know in the comments or send me a message on Instagram or Facebook. I would love to know what you have included in memorization for your children. So I'm going to wrap it up here today. Thank you so much for joining me here today. Just to remind you that we do have a summer reading challenge going on for your kids. It's not too late to join. If they would like to join in our reading challenge, what they have to do is head over to the website, ourmuslimhomeschool.com/challenge, and print out the checklist. The checklist has 18 categories of books, and all your kids have to do is tick off a book from each category. So when they read a book that is set in the Islamic world, they can tick that book off. When they read a book that has a red front cover, they can tick that book off as well. So head over to the website, print that off. There's a video there that will explain in more detail all about the reading challenge. And I would love for your children to take part in that. So I'm going to wrap that up now. Thank you so much for joining me, everybody. I would just like to say that this is probably going to be the last episode for a little while. I'm going into a period of deep work. I've got a project coming up for you that I really need to focus on. And I find that doing this and all the other things I do online, it splits my focus. And right now I need to focus on that project. So I will be taking a short break from these live broadcasts, but I hope to be back again with you soon. Have a great day, guys. Assalamu alaikum.